Buried is an interactive story. The plot will change based on the choices you make. The story is broken into 5 chapters. Play straight through it or at your own pace. There's no waiting and no pauses. Enjoy and choose wisely. Begin. Uh-huh. I open my eyes, and the first thing I want to do is scream. I'm flat on my back, and everything seems to hurt. The trees overhead look familiar. It's a clear night sky, almost beautiful. Except for the fact that this means I've been out cold for at least 6 hours. There's something wrong. I don't remember what, but something happened, and my head. My God, my head hurts. And a ringing in my ears. Was there an accident? An explosion, I think? I remember Dennis screaming, but after that, I can't remember. As I sit up, I notice that my hard hat has been thrown off. I look around the area, but it's not here. It feels strange to go anywhere without my hard hat. I gotta find the other members of the crew. They could be in danger with a hard hat. I get up on shaky legs and look around for a moment. A few nearby trees look to have been splintered and broken at the base recently. They certainly weren't like this earlier. Searching for the hard hat feels normal. Makes me feel like maybe there isn't something wrong here. I see it behind a fallen log, about 10 feet away from me. How was it thrown so far? Is beyond me. Driven by nothing more than habit, I walk over to it, pick it up, and place it on my head. Next, I walk over to the center of the locking set and don't like what I see. Continue. The locking set looks like a bomb was detonated around the center. I don't know where to start. The one load we had managed to stack on a truck for the day is overturned. The trailer bent and the logs hanging off the back. Where the hell is everyone? My head is killing me and this ringing in my ears. I can't hear anything. Not birds, not my footsteps, nothing. Makes me wonder if I hit my head after my hard hat flew off. I went through a quick mental checklist to make sure my brain is still working. My name is Roger Hastings. I'm 41 years old. The year is 2017. I own a small logging company. We've been logging in this strip of Kentucky woodland for almost a month now. Okay, so my brain works. That's a relief. It also makes me fearful because something is certainly not right here. I look around the logging site, my mind trying to figure out what has happened. Just about every piece of equipment has been overturned or tilted. And look at the truck. The truck. The hitch is completely broken, like it was blown off in an explosion or a really bad accident. Had there been an explosion, all of the fuel on site would have started a fire. There's no charring, no burning, nothing. I walked through the area where Dennis had been working. From the looks of it, he'd been moving slowly. He'd only taken down 4 trees today. His metal lunchbox is open, an indicator that he had been taking an early break. But he's not here. No one is here. Where the hell is everyone? I tried to make a call on my cell phone, but his battery is already running really low. Not that it matters. The reception is crap out here. Um, Battery running low, so I'll just yell out. Hey guys, where is everyone? Tony? Dennis? Frank? Joe? The names fall flat among the wreckage. And nothing back other than the scarring away a few birds overhead. Might as well start walking and try to find some answers. The highway is almost a mile back through the woods down the gravel roads we used to reach the site. Maybe the crew ran that way for help. Well, why would they have left me? Are they scared? Out of sorts? Maybe we can catch up to them. But with my truck turned over on its side, it looks like I'll be walking. My God, I can't even remember what I was doing before waking up on my back. Wait, what's that? Underneath the bulldozer. Oh my God, it's a leg. Must be either Tony or Dennis. The dozer looks unstable, like it might roll some more. Might not be safe to get close, but at the same time I can't just leave him in there. But look. Hey, are you okay? Are you alive? Holding onto my hat, I skip over the wrecked equipment and stray logs to get closer. I see a bit more of the leg. The jeans are soaked in blood. Recognize the work boots. It's clearly Tony. His leg is bent at an impossible angle and it crushed flat. The closer I get, the more apparent it becomes that Tony didn't survive. Pull the body out. I try to pull him out, but he's just not budging. That's when I see the blood coating the ground and room. It's thick and fresh, so dark in the dirt that it looks black. As I'm tugging, I hear something crunch, but I somehow manage to pull him out. His legs are absolutely crushed and his stomach looks deflated. Blood is covering everything from the navel down. His face was turned to the right when he was crushed. It's like a broken plastic mask seeping into blood and bits of shattered skull. My God, I can't believe this. I have to turn away. That's when I hear a deafening creaking noise. I'm bashing the head from behind as the bulldozer shifts slower to the ground. I roll clear and end up on my back, my eyes struggling to focus. I'm a little shaken up, but I'm fine. Thank God I was wearing my hard hat. I'm gonna get up and dust myself off. Can't stay here. I have to find Dennis, Frank, and Joe to find out what happened here. Continue. As I walk through the stacks of logs from the last week or so of work, everything feels frozen. This high-pitched sound in my ears is terrible. It keeps happening every few seconds. It sounds like it's coming from far away. Can't help but wonder, is it my ears? Or is it something else? The silence out here is creepy. There's a smell, like the atmosphere after a bad summer storm. Might as well admit it. I'm a little scared. Everyone is missing and it's dead quiet out here. There doesn't even seem to be a breeze or rustle of leaves and branches. My right knee hurts like hell. My hand was hurting so bad before that I never even noticed the pain in my knee. Must have heard it during the what? Accident? Or, wait, is that Dennis? I see him sitting on the ground, motionless about 30 feet away. Walk up. He's just sitting there, not moving. I walk up slowly next to him. Dennis? Hey man, can you hear me? Tap him on the shoulder. He looks up at me from the ground, clearly coming out of a daze. Yeah, Roger, I hear you, he says. Dennis is built like a wrestler and has the tough personality to match. But in this moment, he looks disoriented and even a little anxious. Though I'm glad to see him. The grin on his usually confident face is alarming. What the hell happened? What's going on, he asks. Got all the crew's missing. Missing? Dennis says. Where do you think they went? I'm not sure, I say. It has me pretty freaked out. Something's not right here. Still sitting on the ground, he looks around the woods as if he's just now understanding the severity of the situation. The equipment was overturned, dozers too. I say, shifting my hard hat and rubbing my forehead. You okay? I ask him. Yeah, just shaking up. Me too. This might be the most intimate conversation Dennis and I have ever had. While he and I have always been on good terms, we've never been particularly close. I've always suspected him, though. Sure, he's come to work a few times looking like he'd been in a bar fight the night before, but I've also seen him do the enthusiastic impression of a dinosaur as he played with Tony's kids while they waited for their dad to finish up his shift. It's then that it hits me. Dennis and Tony were good friends. I'm not sure I want to rattle him with news of Tony's death right now. Not before we know what's going on, but he has to right to know. Yeah, Tony's dead. You up front with Dennis about Tony. Dennis's eyes fixate on me, startled. He he was questioning the dozer, I say. Dennis pauses for a moment like he's trying to understand what I said. His eyes narrow and his bottom lip quivers. Shit, he says, and I can tell that he is fighting back tears. He and Tony have been tight, almost like brothers. Hey, he asks quickly, still trying to escape the reality of Tony's death. You see that light? No, I say. What did you see? I don't even know, Roger, he says. It was like this flare of white light. It came right up out of the ground like an explosion. So there was an explosion, I say. Maybe it was some equipment, or there's no equipment, Dennis interrupts, agitated. A huge ball of light came right out of the damn ground. Where did it go? It just shot up into the sky until it was out of sight. When? I'm not sure, he answers. I had finished about 10 trees for the day and was about to top one. That's when it happened. You're almost done with 10 trees? I ask. Yeah, he says, looking at the ground. No, I wouldn't want to take a lunch break until I was done. And that's when that light blew up. Why? You don't believe me? I believe you. You believed Dennis' story. He saw what he saw. I think to myself, he has no reason to lie about this. My God, you okay? Yeah, I'm fine, he says. But if I'm being honest, it scared me pretty bad. If it's all the same to you, I'd like to get the hell out of here. We'll stand up and start heading towards the road. It isn't until we start moving that I see Dennis is wounded. His right side is coated in blood, the red seeping through his blue shirt. There are splatters of it here and there, but also a very large red splotch that makes me worry. Did you get that injury? I'm not sure, Dennis replies. Must have gotten thrown or hurt somehow from that light. It's then that I notice that the strange ringing noise is still filling the air. Hey, I say, stopping. Do you hear that high-pitched ringing noise every once in a while? Dennis looks scared when asking this question, and he just nods. That was just me, he says. He looks out his torso and I certain I've never seen him like this before. It's obvious that he's looking for some reassurance. Even though I'm the boss, there's something very unnerving about this. I'll be okay. It's probably nothing. Let's be realistic, I tell myself. I might as well try to be empathetic. Out here in the middle of these woods, the ringing could be anything. Maybe a car alarm from through the woods or something. Still, in my passive comments just have reassured Dennis. He looks a bit calmer, more relaxed. We will start moving forward and don't say another word. Did you try to call Frank? Dennis asked. I know he had his cell on him today. Not yet. I waste out some battery left. Pull out my cell and call Frank. Happy I didn't make that call Dennis earlier. It rings, but he doesn't pick up. Then I hear his phone go off beyond the stack of logs. Dennis and I give each other a look. As the phone goes to voicemail, I hang up and walk beyond the logs to find Frank's phone on the ground, abandoned. I look around for Frank, find nothing, not a single trace. It's then that I notice something really odd, a 10-foot wide hole in the ground, right near where the phone was. There's no stray piles of room with dirt or rocks, just clean, smoothly dug, cutting into the earth, wide, but only a few feet deep. It looks unnatural, like the ground was just deleted, no shovels or diggers used. Dennis walks over to it. It's just like the same kind of hole where I saw that light come from the ground, he muses to himself. Saying nothing, my mind is spinning, but I don't know what to think. I need to get out of here, Dennis mutters. At that moment, that ringing noise carries through the forest again, sending a shiver down my spine. Dennis is right, there's something strange going on, and we might not be safe here. But that ringing sound could be a clue to where the rest of the crew went. Let's check out the sound. Check out the sound. Something's not right, I say. But there's a mechanical noise like that. I think someone's out here, he asks. Maybe. I think we should at least check it out. We might be able to help. Yeah, go right ahead, he asks with a grin. I'll be here waiting for you. Better hurry, though. Dennis doesn't look like he's in the best shape to be trouncing around the forest. We need some answers right away, too. I don't want to leave him. I can dance with you. Instead of bring Dennis along. No, you come with me. I bend over and hoist him up against my shoulder. He uses it just barely and then gives in. He's looking at me like he's terrified of me now, like even a moan in his throat. We start moving through the wood quickly with no idea where the rest of the crew is, afraid they could be in danger. Every tree out here looks exactly the same. I grew up in the country and can find my way around the forest without much of a problem, but I'm feeling dizzy. I'm leaning against a tree when I see something that has no business being out here. Our lucky crew has been out here for 3 weeks. Never seen it before. Continue. It's a small building, sort of like structure of a shack and a bunker. Looks to me be made of concrete, but moss, roots, and plain old erosion also make it look sort of mystical. It's like something out of a demented version of a medieval fantasy movie. What the hell is this? Dennis asked. Some old power station? Dennis shakes his head. I would want to be way out here. He's right. I can't come up with a legitimate reason for something like this being here. You think the others maybe went in there? He asked nervously. Why would they do that? I asked. I don't know, but they aren't out here. If they aren't inside, they're probably dead, like Tony. He looks at the ground as he says this. I want to go inside, not just to find my crew, but also to appease my curiosity. The noise is coming from inside. That's the thing about this place seems incredibly strange, especially located all by itself out here. It simply does not belong. I wonder, do we knock or just go in? Jens asks. I can tell that he is trying to make a joke, but it falls flat. I'm starting to think his humor is his defense mechanism for his fear. Both look ahead, take a moment to realize what we are about to do, and step forward. We get no more than 3 feet closer when Dennis wobbles. Okay? Easy, I say. How are you feeling? Fine, he says. It's just that. Then he pushes forward and starts falling to the ground. It happens in a way that feels like slow motion back in the darker parts of my mind. What if he's dying? I'm okay, he said. Just, can you let me walk for a little while? Just help me inside, please. Can't deny him his request. I've never seen him this weak, and it's a little uncomfortable to see. Makes me glad he decided to keep him with me. I helped Dennis into the weird little building in the front door, which is even though there's clearly a lock on it. Maybe the lock was supposed to keep someone in. It's hard to tell. Still hear the ringing noise. It's only coming from in here. The sitting out in front of me is a small interior to match the outside. The building is totally empty. There's the concrete floor and diggy, featureless walls. There are no windows, giving the place an even more isolated feel. Still, you hear the ringing noise coming from somewhere in here. It's louder now, more prominent. The interior seems confined at first, but a small set of concrete steps leads about 5 feet down, revealing a corridor. Continue. It's a massive corridor, in fact, like I'm in some kind of building underground. It seems to go on forever. This corridor is mostly dark, with emergency lights every 10 feet or so. Soon we're now underground because this corridor extends far beyond the walls of the building we entered. I realize that someone might not appreciate finding us here. I feel like a ghost, like I truly have no business being here. Then I leans on me for support when we're slowly on our feet, not making a sound. If anyone is in here, I want to make sure they don't hear us. We tiptoe forward as softly as we can. Let's carry Dennis to the far end of this otherwise reachless place. See a flight of concrete stairs leading down. I have to set Dennis down on the floor. His weight is killing me. Dennis, are you okay? Stop worrying, man, he says. I'll be okay. I just need a minute's rest. Looking at him, I'm not so sure. I still hear the ringing noise every so often, coming from somewhere in here. I look ahead at the concrete stairs pointing towards them so that Dennis sees them. Can you make it down these stairs? I ask. He stands up slowly and is visibly making an effort to not fall down. Yeah, he says, sounds a little irritated. He steps for the stairs without me and I have no choice but to follow. I approach the stairs and by just looking at them I get the sense that we're crossing some sort of line here. There may very well be no going back. Continue. As I head down the stairs I notice that they look aged. That damned ringing noise is somewhere below, louder than ever. I feel like I'm walking down into the cellar of a haunted house, the light becoming scarce as the stairs take a slight turn. I can feel the temperature drop. Dennis makes it a few steps down before he is leaning on the wall. He's feeling like he's just finished the marathon. Uh, Pause. Let's take a break, I say, putting my hand towards his shoulder to help steady him. Dennis lets out a sigh. Thanks. It feels too great pause. As both squat down on the stair, my mind seems to lock in on the unknown fate of the rest of my crew. Frank is married, and I've met his wife a few times. A nice woman with a huge laugh. My heart sacks a bit when I realize I might never again get to hear him belting out classic rock tunes during lunch break. Joe, well, I don't know too much about him. He's 22 years old and is consuming community college. His folks are deadbeats, so he has been providing for himself since the age of 16 or so. Maybe we can still find them and still get to hear Frank singing in his deep baritone voice after a few too many drinks. After a few moments, Dennis says, Alright, let's keep going. Both stand up, leaning on each other. To make Dennis stay behind me as I stick my foot out in search of the next step. I can't help feeling like a child as a very powerful fear seizes me, expecting a monster to reach out of the darkness, slicing into my throat. After what feels like forever, I come to the bottom of the stairs, closer to that ringing noise now. The door sits circular in the wall and looks just as out of place down here as I feel a sliver of light seeps through, illuminating the area. The door has what looks like a panel with lots of labels and lights. Small embossed print above the panel says level at entrance gate, transport sector, and there's a button with no label. Inspect the panel. It looks like a diagnostic or alert system of some kind. This label meant to communicate some status. Lockdown engaged, experiment in progress, shutdown engaged. Those all appear to be off, but one of the phrases is slowly blinking red light next to it. The only power light on this whole thing. Abnormal entity breach. What the hell? I slowly push the door open when Dennis suddenly steps in front of me, taking the lead. Let's go, he says. I want to find out what the hell this place is. As Dennis walks through, that ringing or beeping or whatever it is gets a little louder. The door closes behind us with a click. Can't help but notice the wobble and Dennis's step as he lets out a grunt. Sure you're healthy enough to keep going, I ask? It doesn't matter. I don't want to be in the woods right now. He seems scared, something I've never seen before. Angry, yes. Upset, yes. But Dennis is never scared. What did you see? I don't know what it was, boss. It's like someone had left a radio on crackling. We don't have any radios at the site. It was, I don't know, it's like something in the force was moving. Give him a doubtful look and cast his eyes on the ground, frustrated. I know how it sounds, he says, but I know what I felt. It was like walking to a funeral parlor, feeling death and gloom everywhere. I've been so preoccupied with my own fear that I nearly forgot about the ringing noise. It had become just background noise. Take a few more steps and I can now see where we are. Snow sends yet another thing that simply seems out of place. Shapes and muted colors in metal are easy to identify. It just doesn't belong here. End of chapter 1. Suspected dead. You and 64% of players pulled Tony's body out from under the bulldozer. Secrets. You and 76% of players were upfront with Dennis about Tony's death. Trust. You and 55% told Dennis you believed the story. Curiosity. You and 75% of players want to investigate the ringing sound. Teamwork. You and 64% of players decided to bring Dennis with you. Begin chapter 2.